Hi guys, and welcome back to the Divine Witch. Today's episode we are going to be talking about an on-the-go spell jar for protection. You can keep it in your car, you can take it with you when you're traveling, hiking, whatever it may be. And this will offer a magical protection for you as you go along your journey. Now, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's dive in. Alright guys, so I'm going to go over the list of ingredients that you're going to need for this. Just so you know, the first ingredient I got is a plastic bottle. It does have a cap, so for those of you who are going to ask, it does have a cap. It does go on, so putting that out there. So, does it have to be a plastic bottle? No, it can be glass. Plastic just makes it a little bit more easier, especially if you're traveling. It's lightweight. Along with the fact that, you know, if you put it in your car, you know, you're not having to worry, oh, if it spills or if it breaks. Like, for this to break, some traumatic stuff's got to happen, and it's supposed to prevent that. So, there we go. The next thing that you're going to need is you're going to need a spoon for dipping out. You're going to need a funnel size, your choice. It's up to you and what you want. Now, I got a bowl here with sand. And this was from, for Hecate. I used it all last year. So it has literally been fermenting, so to speak, on her altar for over a year. Now, I do suggest using black sand and red sand, and here's why. Black is for protection and concealment. The red is going to be power and dominance, okay? So these two coming together is going to, they're going to energize each other. The next thing that you're going to need is some type of master incense. Now, I say incense just for the reason being that this isn't going to have any water on it or in it. So, you know, you kind of want to stick to anything that's powdery. You don't want to introduce any liquids, so forth and so on. So the next thing that we are going to put into this is going to be the black peppercorn. Now, for those of you out there, do you have to use this? No, you can use grinded spice. I just prefer to have the whole and keep it intact. You know what I mean? Like, that's just me personally. So, now that you guys know all the tools that you need, I'm going to show you step by step what I'm going to do. So I'm going to move my sand over here for a minute. And then I'm going to take my bottle. I am also going to pull out one of these beautiful incense, and my little helper over here to the side that you guys can't see is going to grab my incense holder, so that way once I get done cleansing my bottle that I plan to use, I can put it in my incense holder and put it on Hecate's altar. So the first thing that you want to do is kind of set it on fire. Let it burn for a little bit, just for the reason being you want it to actually do what you're wanting it to do, which is be able to smoke. Okay, you see how we got that nice little smoke? Now, the reason why we use frankincense and myrrh is because they are part of what would be considered a holy trinity of protection. Now, some people might prefer to use copal, or might want to use something else. That's up to you, but this is what I prefer. Now that the inside is clean, I'm going to go around it and do the outside as well, moving in an upward motion. I'm going to do this 3 times while thinking about it being protected and cleansed, along with what it is going to do. Now, when I do this, like I told you guys before, whenever you're doing anything magical, you want to make sure to put your intent into it. So, with every step that I do, even though I'm talking to you, I'm adding this intent of what I plan to get. Now, for those of you saying, oh, you know, fire and plastic don't go along together, here's the key. If you're working with a plastic container like I am, the best thing for you to do is to wet the inside of it, okay? You can't tell, maybe if I got a little bit closer, you can see the water droplets. That way, if anything from this actually falls into this, it's not going to melt it. It's just going to go pss and be out, right? So, just for those of you who were wondering. So, the first step to this is the pepper. Now, pepper can be used in multiple ways. It can be used to hex and it can be used to protect. So in this instance, we're using it to actually protect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a handful of the peppercorn, like so, and then I'm going to place it inside of my bottle as the base. Now, you want to make sure that you get enough to actually coat the whole bottom. And the reason behind this is because that's our first layer of defense. And as we add, it's going to seep upwards into everything that we're doing. Occasionally you'll get some random peppercorns pop out, but it'll be alright. If you do have dogs, I would suggest putting them up because you don't want them to digest pepper, because it's not good for the doggies if you have dogs or any type of animals, really. Alright, so now that's done. As you guys can see, the whole bottom is covered right through here. So I'm going to go ahead and move this to the side. Now the next thing that I'm going to add is the Master's incense. Now I'm going to add this periodically. So I'm going to do a layer down here, and then I'm going to build up from there, okay? So to do this, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my funnel. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to dump that around. Now I do use quite a bit because I want it to cover along with that peppercorn. See, Master's incense or Master's oil is perfect for gaining control. You know, it's in the name, Master, right? Now, if you want to add more, you can. I'm not going to be adding any more than what I already did because, you know, I eventually need to get some more, and I've got a lot more spell work to do. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put our funnel back in. And if I can get my camera girl to come outwards a little bit more, help me out a little bit. Alright, that's perfect. So you guys can see me in my horrible chair, but it'll be alright. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bring your sand. And then you take your sand and you dump it in. Now, as you're doing this, you can also say protection beforehand. And if you want to, you don't have to use a spoon. You can just use your hand to dump it in. And imagine the protection coming over it. Now, these are perfect for gifts as well, especially if you do them in a bottle. Because when it comes to doing sand and protection, it's something that's been done forever, especially when you get into drier climates. It is some old folk magic that can be done, but this is my kind of rendition of being able to protect myself and my family. Now, some would say, oh, separate it and all that, but I believe in reusing. So, you know, if you ever use sand for, let's say you put it on your altar to kind of offer more protection when you're burning candles or whatever it may be, I say use what you got. Because realistically, that's magic. We use what we got and we make it our own and we make it renewed. Now, if you want to go out and you don't have sand, you know, you can layer this to where you have the different layers and separation. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish filling this up. And once I do that, I'll come right back with you guys and then we'll finish this off. Alright, now that that's done, there is one last and final step that you need to do that I didn't tell you in the beginning. Grab you a penny. Penny is copper. And copper can be a conduit to magnetize and strengthen your work. So what you're going to do is you're going to put that penny down in there. Put it up on top. And then you're going to seal it. You do not want to shake this because you want to keep the layers visible. It's going to get shaken around anyway when you travel, but to start out, to see those layers and to see it come to be. See what I mean? Look how pretty that looks. And it's not only about being pretty. Now, another thing that I personally like doing too as well, and this is why another reason I suggested a plastic bottle that I did not give you in the beginning. Take you a Sharpie, your choice, and then place a sigil of protection up top, and you can fill it all around the sides as well. And what this does is it takes those sigils and infuses the sigils, and it infuses the sigils, then infuse with this as well. So once this is done and you've done all you plan to do, and you've went through the steps, you've energized everything, said your little words of prayers, a little chant you came up with. Now, if you want one that I use personally when I use this, and like I said during the video, I got to talk to you guys, but I'm also doing my own thing. I normally say when I'm doing any type of protection, whether it be like this or in an actual glass bottle, protect me, protect those around me, protect us from harm, whether it's brought in willingly or unwillingly. For the reason being that sometimes we bring people with us on a journey, but we don't know their true intent. We don't know how they act under pressure. So with that being, sometimes we bring things in willingly, sometimes we do not. So this will offer protection as you go through each step. Now, you can customize it any way you want. Once you get this done and it is finished, this is what you're going to do. You are going to take this. You can either place it in your bag. You can place it in your car. Preferably either under a seat or where you keep your spare tire. So that way it's not seen. Someone doesn't see it in the family and throw it away, whatever. And this way you can keep it with you and be protected wherever you go. Or you can gift it to loved ones. You can also add crystals in between here. I did not do that today. Just for the reasoning that my opening wasn't big enough. But if you're going to add crystals or anything like that, one of the things I would suggest is black onyx. You can do a clear quartz crystal or a dragon's blood type of style crystal. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, because every Monday I do an upload. So let me know if you guys like this and if you guys want anything more. Until next time, bye.